Well, I still got a long drive ahead of me from the Burton County Fair to Columbus. I'm driving to Columbus tonight, gonna stay in Columbus, get a good night's sleep. Biggest day of the year for Ohio outside of the select sale on the 18th is Super Finals night. So we're heading to Columbus right now. I'm heading to Columbus right now. Thought I'd go over the 3-year-olds with you. I'm going to do a couple little videos, get them out of the way. I don't want to do my opening until after Globetrotting and my jazz race. So I'm going to do the other stuff, get that out of the way. We're going to go through the 3-year-olds, where they're at, what they're doing, what I think of them right now. Ale's son is racing in a little bit of a weird class in Northfield. It's a maiden. She has one win, but it's a maiden if you put your horse in a claimer, which makes no sense. Of course, we'll put the horse in a claimer. We put it in the condition claimer. It's a 10 claimer with her allowance. I think she goes for 17.5 U.S. funds, obviously. So Ale's son is back at it Wednesday, race number 2. Now I am in late at the Meadows. I can't make it back for Ale's son, so the first time I'll be back at Northfield will be on Thursday morning for the qualifiers. Big qualifier coming up. Jazzy Judy kind of has to qualify on Thursday, or we're going to be scrambling for another qualifier somewhere else. I don't even know where you can qualify. So Jazzy Judy, big qualifying attempt next Thursday. Let go mile 2.4 or 2.5 with her. I'm sure that won't be a problem. So Ailson racing Wednesday, race number 2 at Northfield Park. She's doing her work well. So there's lots of classes for this filly over the next little while. Not quite as good as our Buckeye fillies, but still a good little race filly. And I think she'll do fine for us throughout the summer, into the fall, and even into the winter if we keep racing her. Arctic Force is knocking on the door. Very happy with what I saw from Arctic Force yesterday. And I got a clear shot at them from the head of lane to the wire. I'm pretty sure I'm a winner yesterday at the Meadows. I ended up 5th, beat like a length, right on the horse that was second's helmet going under the wire. Dan Rollins' helmet going under the wire. Arctic Force raced really well. Beach Boutique flat in her last start. Not that shocking to hear that she was full of mucus after the race. So I'll give her a week and start her back up. Bottle Red raced good again. Not quite as sharp as she was before. It had rained hard all afternoon. The track was like cement. We know that filly's feet and knees bug her a little bit. So I think she didn't bust out of the gate the same way she did the week before. She didn't finish up the same way she did the week before. I think she was a little bit flat. But nevertheless, she raced good and finished second. Brush Cut, again, we're not going to start him back until a little later in the fall. Want to let the hot air get away. He just can't function in the heat, this horse. So there's going to be lots of racing for him all fall, all winter, into 2021. And that is the plan with Brush Cut. Cabernet will be ready to qualify soon. I know they trained her in 2-3, I think, in the mud the other day, James said, but it was a really, really muddy track. I suspect Harry will have her in to qualify this Tuesday. Canadian Titan, again, continues to rest up. Her knees were bothering her quite a bit. We decided to give her some downtime. We'll start her back up later on in the fall. Capistrano is looking for a Thursday debut back at Mohawk. I know it's been a long ride for Capistrano and her clients. A lot of patience involved with this filly, and hopefully it pays off again into the fall, into the winter with Capistrano. Compass Rose DC, second at the fair today and flying on the end of the mile. Big mile from her. She's sharp as a tack right now. She's going to need it. She got the 9-hole at the Meadows on Wednesday, but I suspect she'll be as good as they are, maybe a little bit better on Wednesday. Don't believe me, just watch. He's in the grassroots on Monday. I didn't know Kevin was putting him in there. Probably a tall order for that guy, but he's been great. He's been training great. He trained down great. He's looked great. He already won a race in 154. I suspect, I shouldn't say I suspect he'll be good. I haven't looked at the program. I suspect there's some 51, 52 pacers in there. So we'll see what happens with Don't Believe Me, Just Watch. Emerald Miss, no good last night. I didn't watch the race. I saw the line, and you draw the outside on a half-mile track when you're like 8 or 10 to 1. Buckle up. You know, you're not going to get much in those classes. We'll see if we can get a couple of good lines on her. She's probably a horse. We did try and sell her already once, and we retained her for, I think, $8,000. I believe she's worth that. And I think with just a filly, much like, in a much diminished capacity, but much like Stonebridge Simba, we had to find a class, find a track, find a place for him, and we have to do the same thing for Emerald Miss. Now, we're not talking the same caliber horse, but Emerald Miss is still a useful filly, and we'll see if we can find a class for her in the coming days and weeks. Globetrotting, big race for her tomorrow night. 9-hole sucks, but she's been very, very good all year. So let's see what happens with Globetrotting tomorrow night. Harness AM was horrible the other day. I had said to Tim after, we scoped her, a little bit of mucus, nothing really there. I said, take her blood. And I think her next start will race her without the hobbles on. Pennsylvania is one of the few places that you can just enter her without hobbles on and race her without hobbles on, and I think that's exactly what we are going to do this week. I'll Play It Alone comes back in this week. We'll start him back up on Monday, looking for an October start for him. One to let that class burn itself out a little bit, cool down and water down a little bit, and get I'll Play It Alone back in with horses that hopefully he can beat. Johan didn't get in to go this week, but he has been very, very good. I shouldn't say he's been very, very good. Like, he had a lot of great starts he put together. He'd won. He raced great his last start. I think last start was a huge step forward for him. He felt like a racehorse. He raced like a racehorse. He looked like a racehorse. And I think Johan has found a place at the Meadows. So good for him. Miss Brampton Beast is back in and back jogging now. She'll be ready to go, I guess, another 5 weeks or so. Again, the heat, she just couldn't tolerate that heat right in the dead of the summer. She raced good the end of June, I think even the first part of July, but towards the end of July, first part of August, or the last time she raced, it was just, you could tell she was really struggling. So we gave her the time off, and now she's back 100% sound, no issues there. Just had to give her some time so she could get over her allergies a little bit. Muscle Chrome, we'll start her back up at the end of September, I guess, start her back going. Nancy Allison will qualify on Tuesday one more time for Nancy, and then we'll start her back up again. Need Your Opinion, second today at Hanover, I believe. Second, I was told, in 56-3. Must have raced very, very good, so good for her. Path of Totality. Her knees are bothering her a little bit, but she's been jogging good. We've been trying to get her back to Northfield to swim a little bit, and we're going to switch out, spend that money in Path of Totality. Now, Path of Totality will still race in the Meadows. Will ship her back and forth. Not really a big deal. It's about a 2-hour ship. It's not a big deal for her. So that's the plan with Path of Totality right now, is just to manage her best we can and see how she races. Really Blue Chip is coming back in soon. She put on weight, I'm told. I'm going to head her up to the top barn, and Shelby is going to take care of her. Her main goal will be put weight on this filly. Rooney Blue Chip will be racing next week. He had a nasty little quarter crack that bothered him. We got it pretty well cleaned up. I think they draw Monday for Friday, if I'm not mistaken. They rate that maiden like 3 times a week, so we'll have him in one more time. The plan for Rooney is, especially after the results I was sent for the New Jersey distaff that they had racing for 3-year-old Trixtons and 3-year-old Trotters, I'd like to race Rooney Blue Chip on the 18th at Freehold in the, what's it called? Garden State Stake or something. Goes for like 80,000, and like 7 horses are eligible. So that's where Rooney Blue Chip is going to end up. Sebastian Yu is in to go Wednesday. Is he 100%? No, he's getting over the mucus and crap they had in him. Looks better now. Tim said he was okay schooling the other day, so we'll have him ready to go again on Wednesday. Spirited Dio, tough decision. Do I send her to the Simcoe, or do we just wait for the Elegant Image? You know, she's on a roll here at the Meadows. I was really, really happy with her. Most people were really happy with her. You know, I can't imagine anybody would be unhappy with Spirited Dio. If you are, you're just in the wrong business. You know, I can understand being unhappy that she didn't make the New Jersey finals, or, you know, that we've you know, skipped the Simcoe. Okay, I can see being unhappy about that. But as far as what she's doing on the track, I think she's been absolutely tremendous. So Spirited Dio just raced great the other day, closing hard, drew up alongside the leader, put him away, drove away from aged horse, and looked really, really good doing it. So Spirited Dio is in to go Tuesday, I believe, at the Meadows. I skipped over Spend That Money. She's in to go Wednesday at the Meadows. I think she's going to really like the Meadows. It might take her a start or two to get used to the racing there, but I think Spend That Money will really enjoy racing at the Meadows surface. I believe it suits her rather well. Trafalgar raced great today, second in 57, first over. James ended up first over with her against a tough filly. I was told and informed later that there may have been a pylon violation of somebody else in that race, but they weren't set back. So Trafalgar ended up second, raced her heart out, raced really, really good. Very happy with her. Watch Avenue is racing right now. I don't know where he's in to go. Kevin will have him in somewhere this week. He's been racing pretty good. What we need to do is find a watered down class at Mohawk we need him to hang on into the fall when they start writing that condition claimer for 3-year-olds that raced in the grassroots. I think that would be, as they had those levels of money, now we're at 10, now we're at 30, now we're at 50. I think Watch Avenue will fit in there really, really good. So Watch Avenue is racing pretty good right now. And Zeb Sunshine, got to find a spot for this guy. He was a little tough the other day. Travis said he's a little bumpier than he was, so I think we just got to have him going through some stuff right now. We'll get him over that and get him in where he can do a little better in the coming weeks. So that is the 3-year-old list. I'll be back in just a minute with the 2-year-olds.